Previously, what happened in Crash Landing on You Part 1? Yoon Seri is a South Korean businesswoman and inherits to her family's corporation. One day, she accidentally lands in North Korea while paragliding due to a heavy storm. There she meets an army officer named Captain Ri Jong-hyuk, and the two eventually fall in love with each other. However, the real struggle begins when she tries to escape back to her homeland. She faces multiple obstacles and challenges, and the biggest one is Captain Ri's enemy Cho, who is assigned to make her stay in North Korea forever on her brother's orders. Despite all the troubles, Captain Ri manages to help her escape, but Cho gets to know about his plan, and just as she is about to escape, she gets attacked. Captain Ri manages to save her, but unfortunately, one of the drivers shoots him. Seri drives him to the hospital and decides to postpone her escape. They eventually return to Captain Ri's place, but the problems aren't over as she is kidnapped by two men who force her to say her final goodbye to her lover. Captain Ri starts to find Seri and her captors, but he cannot do so and returns home, where he finds Cho and his men ransacking his house to find Seri. A fight breaks out at the house, which enables Cho to get an advantage from it, and he immediately arrests Captain Ri. He is then taken to the detention center, where he asks the soldier to reveal the truth that he is the son of the director of the General Political Bureau, which eventually leads to his release. On the other hand, Seri meets her kidnapper, who turns out that he is Captain Ri's father, Chung Ryol. Later, Captain Ri rushes to his house and confronts his father about the kidnapping. His mother decides to end her son's suffering and brings Seri over. Then we get to see an emotional reunion, and later it turns out that many years ago, Seri and Captain Ri were in Switzerland at the same time, but obviously they didn't know each other. At that time, Seri was planning to die, but a song played by Captain Ri, which he wrote for his brother, helped her change her mind. Coming back to the present, Cho is thankfully arrested, and the trouble appears to be over for the time being. Finally, Captain Ri takes Seri to the border in order to get back to her homeland. She starts crossing the border, but Captain Ri follows her to the other side in order to kiss her goodbye. Seri finally returns to her homeland, and everyone is absolutely shocked to see her, as they thought she was dead. While some of them are pleased, others are not, particularly her brothers and her sister-in-law, who were just about to take over the company. Back in North Korea, the signal logger officer, Man-bok, sneaks in to talk to Captain Ri, where he explains that he met Captain Ri's brother, Moo-hyuk, many years ago. He gives him Moo-hyuk's watch, which has valuable evidence of the crimes Cho has committed, indicating that Cho and Moo-hyuk were somehow related in the past. In court, Cho is on trial for his multiple crimes, including murders and drug trafficking. He tries to deny the charges, but Captain Ri presents irrefutable evidence, leading the judges to sentence him to life in prison. After that, he is taken away in an army truck, but he manages to escape and plans to go to South Korea to kill Seri. In Seoul, Seri heads out for a walk, and to her surprise, she comes across Captain Ri, who is there to protect her from Cho after learning about his intentions. Back in North Korea, Captain Ri's father gets to know that his son has gone south, so he sends Captain Ri's soldiers there to bring his son back. After the emotional reunion of the couple, Seri takes Captain Ri to her house and insists that he should stay with her all the time. As the time passes, she feels sad that her time with Captain Ri is going to be over soon, and that he has to return if he is successful in capturing Cho. In North Korea, Seoul and Sung are gradually getting closer to each other after she hides him in her place because people are looking for him. The two eat noodles together, and he wonders if she has feelings for him. In the meantime, Captain Ri receives information regarding Cho's location, so he heads out to capture him. Unfortunately, when he arrives, it turns out to be a trap, as he is quickly surrounded by some men trying to kill him. However, he manages to dispose of them. Following this, he calls Seri to check on her, but Cho answers her phone and lies that he has Seri. Captain Ri rushes to the place and quickly finds her hiding from Cho. Captain Ri manages to save his lover again, and Cho has to run off for now. Seri decides not to sit quietly and watch her man get hurt, so she contacts some gangsters and tells them that the first one to find anything about Cho will be generously rewarded. Later, Captain Ri's soldiers start searching for him and Seri everywhere, and they eventually come across their captain. Then they have an emotional reunion, hugging each other. Soon, Seri joins them, and she then takes them to her house, where the boys are shocked to see all the luxuries. The next morning, she returns home from work and thinks that all of them have gone, so she starts crying. However, they all appear with gifts for her because it's her birthday. She storms out and carries on crying, but it turns out that she has just been startled and reveals that she will always remember this day on every birthday. She heads inside, and all of them celebrate her birthday. Later, Seri decides to have a day off so that she can spend more time with Captain Ri, as he's going to leave soon. That evening, the team gathers up and they spend time together, drinking and watching football. The next day, Seri is stopped by multiple black vans while Captain Ri is sent away to attend a meeting. It is, of course, a trap set by Cho. However, this time he doesn't stand a chance as Captain Ri's soldiers arrive and quickly get rid of Cho's men. Next, they make their way to help Captain Ri. A terrible fight breaks out, but unfortunately, Seri gets shot. Captain Ri and his soldiers quickly rush over to her and they all burst into tears as they think that she's dead. Captain Ri is devastated to watch Seri in this condition and he quickly rushes her to the hospital. Her situation is very critical as the bullet is in her lung, so the doctors have to operate. Thankfully, operation goes well and she wakes up the next day. Captain Ri and his soldiers are very happy to learn this, so they decide to celebrate her recovery. Meanwhile, South Korean authorities discover the tunnel that connects both countries. They filmed 2 suspects coming out of it over the last few weeks and are determined to find them. Back in the hospital, Seri has her entire family gathered around her, so she takes advantage of the situation by playing the recording of Si Hyung and his wife discussing their previous plan to get Seri killed with the help of Cho. Seri's father gets furious and disowns Si Hyung, claiming that he is not his son anymore. Later, Sang-a finds out Captain Ri's true identity and meets the inspector to reveal the truth to him. Whereas Captain Ri heads out to find Cho, and we see that he's being followed by the police. Eventually, he finds him, but he is unable to shoot him because the police have surrounded the building with sniper rifles all pointing at him. Suddenly, Cho turns around and fires his gun. As Cho takes his shot, Captain Ri moves out of the way, which prompts the police to shoot Cho, and he eventually dies. Captain Ri's soldiers are later apprehended by the security after their identities are revealed. Captain Ri is also interrogated. The NIS agents view the video of him doing good deeds, and they become enraged as they can't find his mistake. They interrogate him about his reason for being in South Korea. He decides to lie and tells them that he came here just to convince Seri to go back to North Korea. Obviously, he takes all the blame on himself so that Seri won't get hurt. But when she is interrogated, she reveals the truth about how Captain Ri helped her get back home safely. After learning about her claim, he decides to lie again and reveals that he has been using her all along, knowing how rich she is. Seri is unable to process this and quickly passes out, so she's immediately rushed to the hospital. On the other hand, Sung gets shot while saving Seoul. However, he is happy that she is beside him when he's dying. Seri soon wakes up, and her mother reveals that the authorities are about to send Captain Ri and his men back to North Korea, and that he stayed with her the whole time she was passed out. Captain Ri and his men reach the border and are upset that they won't be able to see Seri again. Luckily, Seri and her mom arrive just as they cross the line. She runs towards Captain Ri, which prompts him to cross the line again. The two hug each other, causing each side to draw their guns. They express their love for each other, and he apologizes for his words. Sadly, they are forced to part ways and Captain Ri is taken away. Upon reaching his country, he is soon surrounded by the military director and his men who want to kill him. But Captain Ri's father arrives at the right time and shoots the military director and his men. In South Korea, it is proved that Si Hyung and his wife conspired with Cho to kill Seri. This results in them getting arrested, and they get to taste their own medicine. Gradually, the time passes and Seri and Captain Ri are connected only through text messages. He tells her that they will meet in Switzerland but doesn't tell her when. Seri goes to Switzerland multiple times in hopes of meeting her lover, but she fails to do so every time. 1 year later, she decides to go paragliding in Switzerland, but she awkwardly lands with her parachute over her head. She complains about it, but to her surprise, she sees Captain Ri already standing there and looking at her. The duo gets to meet after a long wait, and they celebrate their reunion. Despite the challenges they faced, they are ultimately glad to be back together. And with that, our recap comes to an end. We hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.